Hello everyone, this is Muhannad Darwish, and we get back with another video on CS50x PS or problem sets. In this video we're gonna talk about runoff, which is the third problem set at week 3, I guess. Anyway, as we say in each video, as we say in each video, this video is not for the people who didn't solve the problem. If you didn't, go solve it and get back to the video, and let's get started. Okay, at first here we define the maximum voters, which 100, and the candidates, it's 9. Also it's the max number, or the largest number. Then we make a 2D array. The first array, the first D is the voters, and the second is the candidates. Like each voter can vote for 3 candidates, or all candidates. If we have, for example, 4 candidates, each voter can vote for all the 4 candidates. It would depend, it will different by the order and that stuff. After that we make a struct, put it the name of the voter and the voters, or the votes that he got, okay, and eliminated, okay, like is he still in the race or he get out. Anyway, and we call this array or class or whatever you want to call it, we call it candidate, okay, and we give this candidate class, okay. We made it an array with this candidate type, or with this type, okay, and we give it the max candidate, which is 9 as the size, okay. Then we initialize a voter counter and the candidate counter to know how much voter or people who want to vote we have, and how much candidate do we have, okay. Then we initialize or define some methods, some functions, we'll talk about them later. Let's start with the main. First we check if the argc is less than 2. If it's so, it will print an error message and close the program. If not, it will continue the program, and it will give the candidate count the number or the value of argc minus 1, because if you know, argc is count the file name and what is after it. So we don't want to count the file name, we want to call what is after, count what is after it. After that we check if the candidate count is largest than max candidate, which is, I think, 9. We get this error message and exit the program. After that we make a for loop, or we made a for loop with the candidate count runtime, like it will looping at as the candidate count number or value, okay. We give the candidate name the argv I plus 1, because we start from 0. So we want to give it the first argv, the argv number 1, which is the first name after the file name. We give it to this array name, and the vote will be by default 0, and the eliminated is false, like it's still in the race. And then again, here we just did like get the information about the candidates that we have, and names and voters and so on. After that we made a voter counter by asking the user, or like how much people gonna vote, okay. And if it's max, like larger than max, like it's 101, we'll give this message. If not, it will continue. After that we get into this loop, this nested loop. First of all, we get into the voter, like as you say before, at the preference the 2D array, which is called preference. We have 2D, like first row is for the row, sorry, for the voiter, like the first voiter, and the second row is for the candidates that he vote for. Like if we have Alice, Bob, and Charlie as a candidate, the first voter can vote for the 3 in different order. Like first preference is Charlie, the second is Alice, the third is Bob, and so on with others. So the first we get into the first the voters number, like the first voter, the second voter, and so on. Then we get into the candidate, which is he vote at the first voter candidate. The first voter vote for the first candidate, or the first candidate for the first voter is Charlie, for example, Bob, whatever. And that's what we do in this loop. We ask for the name for the rank j plus 1, okay, which is plus 1 for because we start from 0. So we say rank 1 is, and you get the, put the user, get the user enter or input, give the input for the program with the name of the candidate he want to vote for. After this, we get into the void. We give it the I, the j, and the name. The I is the number of void, the voter number. The j is the candidate rank, okay, and name is the name of that candidate. If void return false, it will give this message. If return true, it will continue. Let's get into the void function. We made one for loop. We get into each candidate name in the candidates array, or that, yeah, you can say it's array. Anyway, if it's equal the name, okay, we will get the preference to the array with the voiters and the rank, and give it the I, which is the number of the name in the array that have the information about the candidates. Okay, for example, if we have the first candidate is Charlie, which will be his order in the candidates array 0. Okay, so I will be 0 and here will be 0. Okay, so we know that 0 is for Charlie because he is the first candidate, in the first order in the candidates array. Okay, if the program found the name, it's equal, it will give the preference in the preference array and return true. If not, it will return false. Anyway, let's get back here. Okay, after that we made a while true loop and we call tabulate. Okay, tabulate here. We get into the each candidates, okay, by the preferences, So we say if the candidate of the preferences ij, as we say here, we get the I, for example, 0 for Charlie if he's the first, and we do the same here. We get the 0 by references ij. Okay, if the candidate that orders 0 dot elements, if his elements is false, like it didn't just get out the race, it will give it plus, or like giving him a void or her a void. Okay, if it's true, so it will not give him or her a void. It will get to do the second rank of the voter, the second preference of the voter that he or her vote. Sorry. After that, we'll get into the print winner function. Print winner here. We'll get into the candidates voids and see if there's any one of the candidates has more than half the voids. Like if we have 4 voids, sorry, or voiter, to win you have to earn 3 votes, more than the half of the voter, okay, or more than the half of the votes. If so, it will return print the winner and return true. If not, it will return false. After that, here, if it's true or false, it will give the one variable the value. If it's true, it will break and get out from the program. If not, it will continue. And then we made a find min function to find the minimum votes of each or the minimum votes of the candidates, like who has the minimum votes, okay, and we give it to the variable min. Let's get into the function. Okay, here is it. We made int min equal max voters. We give it the maximum vote, which is 100, okay, and then we'll get in by the while loop, for loop, sorry, add the numbers of the candidate count, the number of the candidate, okay. If the candidate still in the race, like his elemented is false and the candidate votes is less than min, it will give the min variable the value of this votes, okay. Like let's say if the Charlie, which is the number 0 as we said before, is still in the race, his elemented is false, okay, and his votes is less than 100, like he got 2, okay, we will give the 2 to the min, and so on. We'll see if the second one is less than 2. If so, we will give the min that number, and so on. At least we'll get at the end we get the minimum votes of all of the candidates that we have. Yeah. After that, we'll get isTie function. We give it the minimum variable, which is the minimum, as we said before, the minimum votes of all the candidates, and we'll call it by here. We will see we'll get into the candidates, as we say, the candidates array by the for loop, and if the candidates elemented is false and the candidate elemented voice is not equal min, we will return false. Like we check if this, it will return if return true, sorry, if the election is tied between all the candidates, and false for others. Okay, let's continue. If it's tie, we'll get to that elemented, and print his name and break the get out of the program. After that, we get the element and give it the min, okay. Where is min element? Yeah, here. And we see if the candidate voids is equal to min. If so, we will change its elemented to into true, so we can get take him out from the race, okay. After all that, we'll make a for loop to make each candidate's votes equal to 0, okay, so we can count the votes again, because we get some people out. So these people who get out, we want to give their votes to the people who didn't, or who was still in the race. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Okay, let's get into the CS50 check. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.